Welcome to a new video. Today, I'll share some new information about the life of Empress Masako. The Empress of Japan is perhaps experiencing one of the sweetest moments of a reign that began with the enthronement of Emperor Naruhito. A moment that changed their lives forever and that is now beginning to resonate in Europe through her various visits, which have dazzled the continent with some of the magnificent jewels from the Imperial collection. Now, Masako has demonstrated her fidelity to one of the country's most prestigious traditions, fulfilling the expectation of a gesture exclusive to the Empresses of Japan. Amidst the magnificent gardens of the Imperial Palace and natural silk, the mother of Princess Aiko has once again become the protagonist of her own gesture, now even more deeply rooted in the longest-standing hereditary monarchy in history. Wearing a casual yet distinctive outfit, the Empress entered one of the greenhouses located within the Imperial Palace in Tokyo, presenting an image so intimate that, just as was done 155 years ago, Emperor Naruhito's wife wanted to show the world one of the most sacred rituals, one that only the Empresses of the Yamato dynasty can perform. As can be seen in the images, Masako not only transformed the garden into a natural haven where she could disconnect from the noise of the city, but she also harvested silkworm cocoons, a tradition that dates back almost 2 centuries and makes yasen, wild silkworms, the stars of the palace grounds overlooking Japan's capital. Masako has inherited a ritual that dates back to the era of Empress Dowager Shokin, who initiated this tradition in 1871, intended to complete a life cycle linked to nature. This custom dictates that, from spring until early summer, the imperial consorts of Japan dedicate part of their time to participating in the various stages of silkworm rearing. This process is not limited to simply overseeing their development, but involves direct participation in each phase. Thus, Empress Masako has overseen the traditional sweeping, a gesture that involves transferring the tiny, newly hatched silkworm larvae from their eggs to the breeding trays, feeding them leaves, and guiding their growth until they are moved to the support where they spin their cocoons. This cycle culminates in the final silk harvest and, generation after generation, has remained one of the most unique rituals of the Japanese imperial household. This gesture brings the Empress closer, once again, to the broader traditions of the imperial house at a turbulent time regarding the succession to the chrysanthemum throne, as the hereditary line is even more complicated to continue given the impossibility of women of the Yamato dynasty inheriting the throne. Furthermore, these past few weeks have not only been a time for the Empress to take advantage of the fact that European royal families have been traveling, but both Emperor and Empress have also traveled to Europe to witness 2 state visits that took them to the Netherlands and Belgium. It was a moment of great relaxation where Masako looked as dazzling as ever, albeit this time abroad. While it is customary for Empress Masako to wear some of the most magnificent jewels from the Imperial collection at New Year's receptions and other solemn occasions, her recent visit highlighted her elegance in wearing some of the most iconic tiaras, such as the honeysuckle tiara, composed of hundreds of diamonds set in platinum, as well as a centuries-old necklace that underscored the grandeur of the Japanese monarchy. This gesture is now intertwined with a tradition that celebrates its 155th anniversary this year. More than just a symbolic act, silkworm harvesting is, in itself, the preservation of a cultural legacy passed down through generations, now considered part of the historical heritage of the Japanese monarchy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would appreciate any likes, comments, and subscriptions.